Good morning, my friends. Welcome to this special episode of Kevin at 7. It is Monday morning, and happy Monday. Can you believe we're over halfway through the third quarter of 2020? I mean, it is crazy how fast time goes. I mean, it seems like last year I celebrated my 29th birthday, and now I'm in my mid-50s, and it's like, what? Where did time go, and what are you doing with that time? And now when you get into a crisis, when you get into one of those times where life and our economy and everything around us is in chaos, and there's chaos all around us, and there's unemployment, and there's fear, and there's politics, and all of that craziness. I want to talk about the real estate today, but I want to talk about your future, because the future, the real estate market, what's going to happen next with the real estate market? All right, good morning, everybody. As you come on, give the video a thumbs up and comment where you're from so I can get to see who you are. Real estate market is doing some crazy stuff right now, but these are times when you can get rich, when most people are going to go broke. And people are scared and people aren't sure what to do. And the real estate market is doing all kinds of crazy gyrations. In some areas, the market is like crazy, no inventory, no houses for sale. In other places, people are leaving the cities, they are running out, prices are dropping, inventory's going up, rents are dropping, people are not paying their rent, evictions are looming, the commercial industry, the commercial real estate is going crazy. None of that matters. None of that matters. Here's what matters. In 2007, I bought a real estate company. And it was like, all right, game on, here we go, man. I was like, when I bought it, I was like, is this the right thing? I'm not sure, but it was a great opportunity. It's like, okay, I'm gonna do it. So I did it. And I bought it in July of 2007, right about the time the subprime market started collapsing and all these subprime mortgage companies started going bankrupt. And we didn't know what was going on. We just like, all right, now let's sell houses. Let's do this, and we're doing this, and we're going, and things kept getting worse. But I was oblivious to what was happening until my partner, my big financial partner in the real estate office that I had, and acquired another one, and then we were opening a third, and then he bailed out, and that's when things got real. And it was like, oh no, because we hadn't been profitable in I had the one existing office, it was profitable, and the two other ones, the new one, the one I'd acquired, they still weren't profitable. And so I had a partner that was funding that. Well, we tried to get those two real estate offices profitable. It was just getting harder and harder. And I just thought that was what happened when you owned a real estate company. But it was the collapse, the economic collapse, and things were changing so fast. And so I went into survival mode. It's like, okay, I got to survive. I dealt with the companies. I merged them into another large real estate franchise or a big real estate company that bought me out. And when I say bought me out, it was like pocket change, but it got me out. And it got me out of all the debt and got me out with some money. But I went into survival mode. And so from 2007 until 2011, I was in just trying to survive. I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna play it safe. I'm gonna pay the bills, I'm gonna do what it takes. And that's what happened to me also at previous times in my life. Play it safe. Here's my question. What future do you want for your life? Like, what are the dreams that you have for your life? And here's how it shows up. I talked to all the real estate agents I coach. So many of them have a hard time deciding, what is it I want? I don't know. I want to be free. I want to have money. I want to not have debt. Hey guys, good morning. All right, congratulations. Somebody just had their first day full time. Awesome. And they're like, I'm not even sure what I want. And here's what I know is that the day comes, because I look at and talk to older people, and I look at my dad, and I read about people, and they talk about life's biggest regrets. And here's the biggest regret that most people have. They didn't do what they wanted to do with their life. They didn't do what they wanted to do with their life. They felt like they wasted their life. They didn't achieve their dreams. They didn't accomplish their dreams. And yet, if you go back and you could take them back to when they were 40, what is your dream? I don't know what my dream is. Here's the thing, my friends. You got to get clear about what you want right now, about your dream, and you got to go for it. Because here's what happens. We get today and we focus on what is safe today. What do I need to do to pay bills today? We focus on what is easy. We take the easy path today. We live in distraction today. We make decisions based on what our family wants, based on what our spouse wants, what will keep the conflict to a minimum, what keeps us out of confrontation. And we make decisions one day at a time to defer our dream, to give up our dream. And so this is one of the reasons that so many people hit what they call midlife crisis, especially guys, is you hit midlife crisis because you're like, I'm not doing anything that I wanted to do with my life. I've done everything to make other people happy. And I'm gonna tell you something, my friends, the only way that you're gonna live a life where you can help contribute to the happiness of others, especially the people you love and your family, is to be true to yourself. And what that means is you've got to look at what are the dreams that I have for the future, and to get there, I have to make the decisions that are hard today. I've got to have the conversations that are hard today. I've got to be willing to follow myself and my journey and my vision and my dream today. And it doesn't mean excluding anybody else, but it means you got to have the tough conversations with your parents, with your kids, with your spouse. Okay, to truly be able to bring happiness to your family, to bring joy to your family long term, you got to bring joy to yourself. And so as we look at what's happening in the economy right now, it's one of those pivotal moments where people are uncertain, they're scared, they're whatever. I mean, and it's so crazy, all the different emotions. We're stressed out. Some of us are busy, some of you are making a lot of money, and some of you are making no money. But this is a time of transition. It's a time of transformation. It's a time of chaos in our country and the world, both because of the pandemic and because of politics, because of social discourse, because of the economy, the debt that is drowning our company. And we don't even pay attention to the debt right now because we're so busy trying to survive day to day. Social distancing, all of that kind of stuff, this got us so messed up. Guys, here's the one thing you need to be thinking about right now. What is my dream? What is your dream? And go make sure that even in the middle of this chaos, you're focused on your dream. Because otherwise, you're going to live a life of regret. What happens in the real estate market is nothing compared to what happens when you don't pursue your dream, when you don't live a life and make decisions that will help you get the life that you want. And that is the hard path. Survival is the easy path. It's just hard for a long time because you're always trying to survive. You never get ahead. You never have enough abundance that you don't have to think about survival. But on any day, it's just I have to do enough to get by today. It's easy to be short-term focused, and I'm telling you, right now is a wrong time to be short-term focused. Right now is a time to be looking around saying, where do I want to go with my life and what is the opportunities? When you do that, your eyes are going to be open to opportunities that you're going to miss otherwise. Okay? All right, guys, I want to do a little Q&A here. Got some questions coming up. Good morning, Jim McKee from the Woodlands. I saw somebody else from the Woodlands. Where do you see? Okay, let me go back here. I'm going to go back and welcome everybody. Let's see. New agent here needs help with leads. Hi, Eric. Start with relationships. All the people you know, go to them and say, hey, I just started a new career in real estate. I need your help. Who do you know is looking to buy or sell that I can help? That's the first conversations, and that's the scariest conversations of all because you don't think you have credibility. If you're committed to success, your commitment shows up, and people honor that commitment. So that's where you start. Kevin has a wealth of videos to help. Okay, I think David, I think you're answering Eric. Okay. Eric, purchase Red X. Oh, everybody's giving it. Everybody's doing the coaching. All right, you guys, y'all are answering the questions. I don't even need to answer these questions then. I have 15,000 in my name, and I just quit my job. Eric Archer, congratulations. I had less than that when I quit my job, bro. Twice. When I started my real estate career, I quit my other job. I had credit cards and I had almost no money in the bank. I had enough to pay my bills for like 2 months, which back then was way less than 15,000. And when I started my coaching company, I had less than 5,000 in the bank. All right. Good morning, Kevin. Thanks for all you. Thank you. Thank you. Is there any other questions? Where do you see the market heading in the future? Who will the market be best for, and how can I present myself in front of those people? Okay, so Anthony, it's not about who the market's going to be best for. It's going to be who's buying and selling houses. That's the key if you're doing real estate. So hang on a second. Let me go back to the question. Where do I see the market heading in the future? The market is heading down. Okay, it just is heading down. Now, right now, in a lot of markets, it's still heading up. Why? Because nobody's moving that doesn't have to move. Okay, so you have pent-up demand of buyers. You have not much inventory, and interest rates are super low. So there's buyers that want to buy and not enough houses. But when all of this shifts, when all the forbearance is done, when the stimulus is done, and it's probably going to be more stimulus. So I don't know how long it's going to last. So, but where it's heading, you have unemployment at all-time highs. And I'm saying if they calculate unemployment today the way they calculated it during the 1930s, unemployment today is worse than it was during the Great Depression. Okay, more bankruptcies this year than ever before. More businesses, revenues down. The GDP contracted by more in the second quarter than it did in the worst quarter of the Great Depression. Okay, commercial real estate is in the tank, and it's going down. It is just piling up. Delinquencies on mortgages, the mortgage delinquencies on FHA mortgages just hit an all-time high last month. Things are all looking bad. Hey, government's still pumping things up. Not everything's looking bad, but it's gonna. It's just these are all the leading indicators of what is coming. So you got to pay attention to that. You got an election coming up, so everything's being manipulated to try to keep everything looking good. The stock market, if we can keep the stock market going up, and there's nothing going up about the stock market. You got 5 or 6 companies that are driving almost all of the gains in the stock market. That's it. Okay, it's not. So I heard somebody say that it's not the S&P 500; it's the S&P 5. There are 7 companies in America right now that their market capitalization, their quote value, is nearly 40%. 7 companies is nearly 40% of the GDP. The federal balance sheet, you look at just the Feds, is over a third of the GDP. These are things that mean that a collapse is coming. And I know you don't like to hear this, and nobody wants to talk about this, and none of your real estate economists, NAR and all that, they're not going to tell you this stuff. But these are real numbers, and people don't have jobs. People aren't paying their bills. People aren't paying their rent. They're not paying their debt. Debt is at the highest it's ever been. The federal debt, national debt, government debt is at the highest it's ever been, and they're adding trillions of dollars to it every year. Right now, this year, the government is on track to spend nearly 3 times the amount of tax revenue that they're going to take in. Guys, it's just getting worse and worse and worse and worse, okay? So where's the market heading? It's heading down. When's it going to head down? I don't know. It could be in the next 2 or 3 months. Some places it's already heading down. San Francisco, Manhattan, Vegas, some of those places it's already heading down. But where it's going to head down everywhere, when the forbearance comes to an end, when evictions start happening, when people's not being able to pay their mortgages, and all of a sudden they're starting to get notice of defaults, which they're not getting right now. All that starts happening, things are going to start moving. Probably within 8 months, you're going to see real turmoil in the housing market within 8 months. Because after the 12 months of forbearance, from when this all started happening in March, 12 months later, so the time you get to spring 2021, you're going to see a shakeout of stuff happening. How bad, how quick, and all that, I don't know. Part of it depends on the election. Part of it depends on economic stimulus, how long the feds can keep doing that, and the government can keep pumping money at us, just showering us with money. But that creates another set of problems, because you've got mounting debt, you've got big-time inflation that will come eventually as that happens. So there are things happening on that. So where do you look for business? People that need to make a move. Okay, so now you're talking to everybody. Sellers, everything should be focused on sellers. Because if you have a buyer, you just have work. You work. You got no leverage. You got to help that buyer find a house. And in low inventory markets, it's hard to help them find a house, and you're competing. But you get a listing. You get leverage. You can leverage that. And you can watch my other YouTube videos on what's happening in real estate, where the best opportunities are in the real estate market right now. But the biggest thing is come train with me at Agent Mastery Live. Go to agentmasterylive.com. agentmasterylive.com. Get your ticket. It is a 3-day virtual event coming up in September 8th, 9th, and 10th. It is going to be a game changer for you because it's going to tell you exactly what to do, where the opportunities are, and how to get them, how to build up the strategies, the systems, the skills, the scripts. All of that is going to be laid out for you in 3 days training with me. And you're going to be learning from some of my top coaching members who are adding hundreds of thousands of dollars to their income. It's crazy how much money some of these guys are making. And they're making it at a time when a lot of agents are starving. But they're also preparing for what's about to happen, because it's not just can you make money today, but what happens when all this does hit is you have to be ready. And there's a shift. And the beauty of it is, for a real estate agent, there's going to be a lot of opportunities if you know where to look and you know what to do. And there's 2 things. 1, you got to be looking in the right place. And 2, you got to be doing the right thing in that place, or you're not going to get the business. And when you do get it, you're not going to, if you get a listing, it ain't going to sell. And so you got to be ready for all that. So those are all the stuff that we're going to be working on. Okay. Any more questions on this? It would seem that with the future being so bleak, the thing to do is abandon real estate, get a rifle and a shack in the mountains. That's called survival. D.L. Bevan. That's called survival. Grab a blanket, suck your thumb, go hide in the corner, and wait for this all to pass. Okay, you're going to starve to death before it does that. You may survive, but the opportunities that you're going to miss are going to be ridiculous. Because there's going to be so many great opportunities, and real estate is the best place to be. I'm telling you, because if you have a job and you're depending on a company, you're depending on somebody else to pay you, unless you're working for Amazon, your job is in jeopardy. If you go a job route, Amazon, there's going to be plenty of jobs. There's just going to be low paying. You're going to work your butt off to make Jeff Bezos richer. Okay. The beauty of real estate is it's your business and you are in control. You get to determine your wealth, and there's going to always be opportunities, because there's always going to be people selling and buying, and there's going to be a lot of them selling when the economy turns and when the housing market turns. And buyers are always going to be out there. The difference is they're going to be paying way less for the houses because there's going to be more houses for them to choose from. And so that's where you got to be prepared and ahead of the game. So, yeah, you either change your attitude, Mr. Bevan, or sell out and go find a place in the woods. And there's lots of places still in America you can go find a place in the woods. You said pay attention to the market, but you said NAR doesn't provide real information about the market. What website do you use? Well, so it's not that they don't provide real information about the market. It's their economists that are saying the housing market is rebounding. Now, this is a, like, how do you say it? The housing market went, and then it bounced back. But that is not like a rebound as if in everything's going to be good from now on. So it's not the numbers that NAR and CAR, the statistics are fine. But you got to look at more than the housing market, because the housing market is not a leading indicator. Okay, it's not a leading indicator of what's the future of the economy. Okay. Here, let me give you another example. Unemployment insurance claims. Unemployment insurance claims. Now, this is not the unemployment statistics. The statistics that you get a lot of times are skewed by people who have an agenda. So the feds, the government, when they're giving you unemployment numbers, the unemployment numbers are a joke, because if you haven't filed for unemployment recently, you're not even considered unemployed. You just don't have a job, right? They don't even count that, right? So it's crazy on that. So when you look at unemployment filings, unemployment claims, they are higher right now than they've ever been in the history of any recession, any depression, it is insane how many people are not making money. Okay, so that's what I'm paying attention to. So pay attention to what I'm saying. Okay, I'm not going into statistics today because I'm live and shooting from the hip here, but yeah, it's good news. Jim for sure was playing. I know DL. I know you were. Thank you for saying so though, because a lot of people don't know how people think. You have to be a critical thinker and a hustler. You always have to be a hustler, guys. You got to be looking for opportunity. It's funny how perspective change influences your view of things. I just got my license, and I've been watching your videos for a couple of months. I couldn't be more optimistic. Yeah, now's a good time to be optimistic. But you got to do the right stuff. There's a lot to be pessimistic about, my friends. All depends on what you focus on. How would you recommend to study the contracts to get them really down? Practice them. Practice the contracts. I would get training from somebody that really knows contracts. Sometimes it's a broker. Sometimes it's a good title rep that actually deals with the closing side of it. But you got to practice writing contracts, writing offers, and so forth. From an investment perspective, would purchasing a property now to live in long term help position you being later on to be able to take advantage of the opportunities when things really happen? Joel, it depends on your circumstances. There's too many variables for me to just really answer the question, is now a good time to buy a house? If you're wanting to buy a house cheap, buy real estate and get a good deal on it, no, it's not a good time. But if you're going to be living in a place long term, you have good income, you have good money and good credit, and you can get a good loan with low interest rates, and you're in for the long haul, yeah, you go buy a house. Now, it may be worth 20% less in 2 years, but if you're making payments and you're happy living where you're living, then you're good. Okay, so having a place to live is not a financial decision for most people. I mean, you've got to be able to afford it, but it's a lifestyle decision. And so the main thing is that you buy something that if everything goes to hell, you can still afford it. That's the most important thing. Okay. Do you recommend old-fashioned marketing flyers and local TV commercials passing out cards? Eric, yes, but again, everything I recommend multiple methods, a multiple method approach or a mixed method approach. I call it the MMA of real estate, a mixed method approach of lead generation. But it's not just, what about flyers? Well, flyers are great if the message on them is right, if they get action, if they're consistent enough and you get enough of them in front of people. Or TV ads, great. Yeah, if you got a message that will get people to come to you. Otherwise, a television ad is a sleeper. So again, marketing is kind of like, does marketing work? Well, yeah, if it's good. That's the whole thing, guys. Does marketing work? Yes, if you're good. Is it a good time to get in real estate? Yes, if you're willing to do what it takes to win. But if you're lazy and you think you think you're smart, you're going to figure it out on your own, and you're not going to listen, you're not going to get coached, and if you're expecting a paycheck next week, it's not a good time to get in real estate because your expectations are off. Okay, so is it a good time to go after for sale by owners expireds? Absolutely, if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you're just gonna get pain and you're gonna inflict pain. Okay, what's the best message during these times? Get coaching. You gotta learn what to do. You gotta become great at what you do. And it's not the coaching that matters, it's who you become by having a great coach. Okay, so Tom Brady doesn't have a throwing coach, because he needs to become a quarterback. He's already the greatest quarterback of all time, but he still has a throwing coach. A throwing coach that actually lives in California while he's in Florida. Why? Because that's been his throwing coach all these years. Why does he have a coach? To get better. Okay, the goal is not to have a coach, the goal is to get better, the goal is to win. How's the fastest way to do it? You need to get trained on how to succeed at anything. Anything you do, guys, anything else besides real estate, you spend years training to become great at something. You want to become a professional athlete, you spend years training with no expectation of making money in the short term. You want to become a doctor, you're going to spend years and years and years going into debt to be able to perform a task so you can make money at it. But you don't expect to go into medical school and start making money next week. Okay? If you want to learn how to be a great performer, an actor, you go to acting school and you study acting and you train and you get mentored. You don't expect to go in and get what is it called? The leading role in a A-class movie the first week. You know you're going to train your butt off and work and work and work till you get good. And then someday you're going to hopefully get paid. Real estate, you can get paid a lot faster, but don't come in here and think, oh, I got my license, I know what I'm doing. That's why you come to Agent Mastery Live, agentmasterylive.com, and come train with me for 3 days, and that's just to get you started. Okay, my top coaching members, they've trained for years, and in a lot of cases I'm not their first coach, and I won't be their last. They get coach after coach after coach until they find the right coach, and they stay with that coach, and they stay committed to greatness always, and they're always in coaching, they're always training. Why? Because that's what professionals do. Amateurs are the ones that don't stay in coaching. And amateurs and pros, you can tell the difference by how much they get paid. Same in real estate. But people have this expectation because it goes back to, what do you want with your life? If you want greatness, if you want massive success, if you want to have a life, then don't play small. Don't try to keep everybody happy. Don't try to keep your parents happy. Don't try to, you're going to have people that are going to criticize you. They're going to go, why are you doing that real estate? It's the worst time to get in. Says who? Says somebody who's never sold a house. Says somebody who flunked out. Says somebody who, I was in real estate. I got back in real estate back in 2009, and it just ain't what you think. So you shouldn't do it. So now I'm taking my lessons from a loser, from a failure, from somebody that washed out of real estate. Why would you listen to that person? If you want to find out if it's a good time to be in real estate, talk to somebody who's succeeded at it, who's got fruit on the tree. Okay? If you're going to learn anything, only learn from somebody who has the fruit on the tree that you want. Period. End of the story. Okay, guys, that's it. Kevin at 7. Hope you've had an awesome morning with me. I've enjoyed spending time with you guys. Great questions. Thank you very much. Kevin, we love you when you were 29 and when you were in your mid 50th. All right, cool. I'm afraid I will see a lot of defaults in mortgage. You're going to see a lot of defaults in mortgage, bro. It's just great. YesMasters.com, Eric. YesMasters.com. For our event that's coming up, go to AgentMasteryLive.com. That's the best place. Desmond, what is your question? Cancel. He said, Desmond's saying I didn't answer his question. All right, Desmond, I'm not going to leave you hanging here. Let me go back and see if I can. What's up, Robert Bragg? Desmond. I don't see your question, Desmond. I think I missed Desmond's question. Desmond, I don't see it. I hope you type it in again here because I ain't seeing it. Desmond, do you expect Southern California, LA houses to drop a few $100,000 in 2021? Okay, so Desmond, housing prices for example, in downtown LA are already down about 2%. Now, 2% in 5 months. Okay, and there's still insane demand compared to the amount of inventory. Everybody's on forbearance, so nobody's selling that is in trouble. If you're in trouble and you can't afford your house payment, you're not selling right now because you don't have to. You're living for free. So yes, I see prices drop. Hundreds of thousands, well, it depends on the house. Okay, it depends on the house. So if you have a $5 million house, it can drop by hundreds of thousands. Absolutely. If you have a $300,000 condo, is it can drop by hundreds of thousands? No, it's not. It may drop. In some areas, it may not drop at all. So right now, everything's micro. Where you see in downtown LA, super high expensive stuff, prices are going to start dropping. You're seeing more luxury homes coming on the market. That's going to continue. So at this point, prices are still holding strong if you look in Southern California on the whole, and prices are actually going up. But get ready when prices start dropping. And here's the thing, guys, if I'm wrong on this, if the real estate market does not collapse, it's going to be great because you're going to be ready. You only have to be, if everything keeps going good, you just have to keep doing what you've been doing if what you've been doing is working, okay? But if it goes bad, that's what you have to be prepared for. It's like putting your seatbelt on when you get in a car. I only wear a car seat in case things go bad. But if I know where I'm going is a high probability I'm going to have a wreck, and I'm going into that place, if I'm going into a storm in a boat, I don't put a life jacket on with the expectation I'm going to drown. I put a life jacket on because know there's danger and there's risk, and if things go wrong, I need to be prepared. And so all of this is to have you guys prepared, because when the market does turn down, your conversations you have with sellers and knowing what to say and how to say it to help them make right decisions so they can actually sell their property and not lose it to foreclosure is going to be really critical. And those are skills. Okay, so you got to be ready for it. Are prices going to go down in LA and Southern California? Absolutely. Okay, absolutely. When's that going to start happening? Maybe in the next 3 or 4 months, maybe in the next 24 months, for sure in the next 24 months. Okay, and how long is it going to go down? We'll see. Okay, Joel, there is going to be some limited access to be able to get recordings, but that's just the event itself is not recorded for just like you can get a replay of it. Okay, so go to AgentMasteryLive.com, get your live ticket. Most important thing is that you're there with me live, because there's a lot of things we're going to be doing that you want to be there live for, because we actually do exercises and processes to help you guys make money. Okay, so it's not just 3 days of me just talking. Okay, so there you go. All right, guys, have an awesome day. Play to win. Always expect yes. I'll see you next week.